In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, let's review the D-Rose 11 in the glow pink colorway. So thank you guys for tuning into another day of the D-Rose Sneaker Challenge, and with that being said, let's take a look at these glow pink colorway of the Rose 11s. This colorway, I think, is probably one of the best Rose 11 colorways that has dropped. Just because there's something about the way this pink and the different hues of pink that they put on there just really like stands out to me, that just, I think, really pulls this whole shoe together, and I think it's a great look and colorway for this model. Let's talk about some of the tech features on the Rose 11. When it comes to this upper, this again is where like, you know, I go into my whole like, oh, I'm gonna call this something even though there's not a name for it, or maybe there is a name for it, but I don't have a press release, so I don't know for certain. But this like fused plastic synthetic-y type upper, to me, and especially when you see the webbing behind it on the 11s, makes me instantly think of Sprint Web or even Sprint Skin. But I'm gonna call it another iteration like the Sprint Web technology on the shoe, especially when you go back to putting the Adi Zero branding on the shoe itself. So that's kind of cool. You have Light Strike for your midsole, which is another type of EVA foam. Not like, it's not the same as Bounce, it's not the same as regular EVA, but it's somewhere in between. I personally put Light Strike below Bounce in terms of like my comfort scale. If I were to like tier them, I go Light Strike, Bounce, Boost. I haven't tried a Bounce Pro yet, so I mean, you know, there's different levels to that. But with that being said, the Light Strike in here, it's not the worst cushioning setup though. It's still pretty comfortable and provides a lot of cushion and impact protection, which is nice. Not as much as your Boost, not as much as your Bounce, but it's still pretty decent. The other great thing about the Rose 11s that I really loved came in the form of this outsole. This outsole is the same outsole that was used on the D-Rose 11s for the most part, minus the part where it says Rose here on that outsole. As you can tell, I've worn these quite a bit already, and I've cleaned them up a little bit before this review, but this is a colorway that, again, I really like and have a lot of fondness for. Some of the design cues on this shoe that I do like also come in the form like this toe box. The toe box here is taken from the design language of the D-Rose 4s. So the Rose 4 is another model that consistently gets, people keep going back to pull inspiration from, which isn't a bad option at all. This collar up here is like a GeoFit memory foam around the padding on the outside, which is nice. You have the Rose logo there too. It says Rose 11 here on the back heel as well. Same here on the tongue padding, Adidas, which is also cool. If you look inside the shoe, you can also see on the stroll board itself like an X bar, which also goes along with this Light Strike little heel counter piece. That's also to help keep you contained in the footbed and also provide more support and some more rigidity to the upper, or sorry, to the midsole, not the upper. Another cool thing about this colorway is the insoles. Both of the insoles in here have two different things on depending upon which shoe it is, whether it's the left or the right. One is the D-Rose logo here, which is also, of course, very cool, very classic, and the other thing is 25 on here. Now, the 25, people might be like, what's a 25 for? Well, for the people that remember, he was wearing 25 when he was in Minnesota, when he was in New York the first time, when he was he was in Cleveland, he wore 1. But so all that being said, that's, you know, jersey number that he has worn sometimes. But he also wore it back in high school, because the 25 goes back to Benji with Simeon, and there's a whole history piece there with that. You guys can kind of go and click and research that more down below if you want to, or down below on the internet as it is. But that's like the very short summarized version of it. But yeah, the 25 on there is cool to have that. Same with the D-Rose logo there. And yeah, this colorway just overall, I think is just killer. I mean, I love the way this shoe looks, and I really also just enjoy this colorway on here because the color blocking, like even on the 3 stripes on this side, it's very neat here too, how it's the different shades. You got the white, a different shade of pink, and then a darker pink there. I just really kind of dig that. The laces are nice on it. It's just a good looking colorway on this model. The one thing I will say too that this does remind me of is, if anyone has been following the brand for a long time, you remember that there was a Damian Lillard and John Wall collab they did of a colorways on the Crazy Quicks, or sorry, on the Crazy Ones, Kobe's original shoe with Adidas, and they had like they had the rose petals and then the sakura blossom trees for one, and there's a colorway that kind of this reminds me of as well too. So, you know, this is a great shoe to wear with breast cancer. This is a great shoe to wear at Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and something I do also like too is, again, you don't have to wear it just in that setting. It's very versatile. I wore these out a couple weekends ago, and I got a lot of compliments. A lot of people seem to like them, and I mean, that's cool. I especially like, what are those? I'm like, some D Roses, bro. Like, what you mean, what are those? He's like, nah, I'm kidding. But that's also a throwback. The memes, they die, they come, they go, and then they come, and then they go. But yeah, I appreciate you all for tuning in for another day of the D Rose Sneaker Challenge. Hope you all enjoy this review. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Share with your friends. Also, use the hashtag on Instagram. Share with me what you guys are, wearing or rocking on that day if it's a D Rose shoe. I'll reshare it on my story. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Until next time, peace. I'll see you around later. Bye.